Yo, what is going on YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be going over a Snake Eyes Super Heavy Samurai deck profile today. We got a lot of spice in this deck. I'm excited to bring it to you. We have, I believe, 43 cards. We're actually missing one card that we have on the way. It's not a super crazy card, so we'll show you what that is. And then we have our extra deck, and then we have, we'll show you a little bit of the side deck, not a ton, because some of it's just kind of up to whatever you want to play. And then we'll show just a couple more cards that you could add into this deck or supplement for certain cards. All right, let's hop into it. Okay, so starting out with the main deck, we have the obvious we have the Snake Eyes Ash right here. This is your main starter, the main card you're trying to get into. Obviously, it's what makes the deck go. You have the one oak, you have the one poplar, and one flame birch right there. So that's it for the Snake Eyes monsters. We're really minimizing on those. I mean, you could think about playing one of these two at two. I only have one of each. I only play one of each, and I'm usually okay with it. It sucks to always draw this card. It sucks to draw this, but I mean, it's not the end of the world. It just kind of ends up being your normal summon. And then you play the one original. It's obviously the card that you're going to search off of Poplar, so you're going to need that. We do play a Fire King engine, which you can cut out of this deck, but I like to play it in here. So you're just going to play one Garunix, two Kieran. I don't think you need more than two. Playing just one kind of hurts if you draw it, because you do want to be able to destroy this on your opponent's turn. So I think you need two of them. Just one Ponix and one Arvata. I think that's all you need for the monsters for the Fire Kings. And then the Sanctuary and the Island. You could honestly cut the Sanctuary, but I like the protection for the Island just because people are going to try to blow this up. But if they do use like a Cosmic Cyclone on it, then it's not really going to matter all that much. So that will kind of hurt you. And then we're going to go ahead and go over to the Super Heavy Samurai stuff. So we have the 3 Wakaushi, which is the main reason why you're playing this. You're trying to get into level 4s to make a rank 4. 3 Motorbike, you can send Motorbike to grab the Wakaushi. And it's going to have a lot of synergy and something I'm going to talk about here in a second as well. And then you have the 1 Sogai Booster and the 1 Monk Big Banky. These cards are the cards you need because for the Wakaushi, you're going to set the Banky, and then the Wakaushi special summons itself out. And then if you control a Super Heavy Samurai monster, while this is in the Pendulum Zone, you can go ahead and add the Soul. The Soul can attach itself to the Wakaushi, and the Soul can special summon itself out, and now you have a rank 4 play. Or you can go ahead and link those off into a link 2. Okay, so these are like the main engines in the deck. So we're going to go ahead and talk about some of the side engines as well. So we have, let's see here. We are going to be playing the new card from Terminal Revenge, the Electro Blaster. Now, what does this card do? It's a level 4 fire machine, so it has synergy with machines, it has synergy with fires, and it's a level 4 to go into our rank 4. Right, so basically when you normal special summon a fire monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, which is great. So even if you... This would be a third one. This is the card I was talking about. So basically I'm playing 3 of these. Basically, even if you normal summon it, you could special summon another one. If you like have 2 of them in your hand, then that's an easy rank 4 play. Or if you normal or special summon any of your fire monsters, or even from the extra deck, you can just special summon this card from your hand as an extender. And then when it's special summoned, it can send a level 8 pyro monster from your deck to the graveyard. You're going to be sending the Mag Macho Dragon. Basically, if a face-up fire monster you control is destroyed by a card effect, while this card's in the graveyard, you can special summon it and then banish it when it leaves the field, and then you can draw 1 card. So basically, it works well with the Fire Kings, and then once it leaves the field, if you link it off, you can go ahead and draw a card, or if it's like just destroyed or whatever. And then, continuing on, we have 3 Parallel Exceed. This card just works really well, making a rank 4. We go into a lot of link play, so it helps us extend a lot too. So it's just an amazing card to have into here. And then our last cards, if we can fit these in, I'll just lay them right here, are 2 Regulus. I've thought about playing 3. I like Regulus added 2 of. Again, you have a lot of machines, right? A big play that I like to do if you have Motorbike and Regulus, right? You can send Motorbike, grab the Wakashi, and then now you can attach the Regulus with the Motorbike and special summon itself out. Now you have an Omni Negate going forward, as well as you can send the Motorbike that is attached to Regulus to the graveyard with like a Snake Eyes Ash to get Ash's effect. And this does not have to have anything attached to it for it to special summon out or to activate its effect. It just needs to be able to target something to special summon itself out, and then it becomes attached, but that attachment does not need to stay there. And to get its effect, it just needs to send a Therion card to the graveyard. It doesn't need to necessarily send something attached to it. So I think it's a great card in here. I really like this lineup of cards. Again, you could maybe bring this up to 3. There's some stuff you could cut out. If you really wanted to cut this deck down, you could cut out the Electro Blasters, but I do really like them in here. I've tried playing without the Fire King part of it. I didn't really like it, so this is kind of the main deck engine right here. For hand traps, I'm just playing 3 Ash, 3 Valor, and 3 Droll. Those are the hand traps. I don't play any Imperm because with the Super Heavy Samurai stuff, you can't have spell and traps in your graveyard. So if you go second, you use an Imperm, your Super Heavy Samurai stuff is now dead, and you can't do anything with it. It's just basically, yeah, it's a waste. So I just play these 9. You could sub out Drolls for Nibs or whatever you specifically like. I just like Droll because it kind of plays a wide range. I hate Nib. I always feel like I break on it. So these are the ones that I play. And then the last 3 cards in the deck are 2 Talents. I feel like it's just it's a good card that pairs well with the Super Heavy Samurai cards because you can do the Super Heavy Samurai plays, and if they stop you, then you can use Talons, as opposed to like, you know, an Imperm where you need to use Imperm first. And yeah, and then a 1-for-1, just because it's a great card in this deck that can extend so much for you. Okay, and then we're gonna go into the extra deck here. So let's go ahead and start out with the Link ones. We only have play 1 of them. We're playing the Almirage here. It just needs 1 normal summon monster with 1,000 or less attack. We have a lot of those, and this can help out. Let's say you normal summon a Poplar or an Ash, and you have a Parallel Exceed in your hand. You can link those off. They get negated, and special summon out that Exceed to that Parallel Exceed to help you continue playing. Then we have for the 2s, we have Peta, Fire, why not? Main Great Sunlight Wolf. This card is iffy in this deck, but it's good if you need to normal summon your like Ash to do what I just said. You know, you normal summon the Ash, you link it off with the Almirage, and then you can special summon out the Parallel Exceed, and then you can go into a Sunlight Wolf with another fire monster, right? And then special something to that zone, and then you can get back that Ash to use on your opponent's turn. So that's a big reason for that card. Pit Knight Early, basically, this card could be cut also, but I like it a lot, especially if you destroy it, and then you can bring it back during the end phase and point it towards whatever you want to point it towards, like an Appaloosa or a Flamebird or something like that, and it's just an extra monster in the gate. And then obviously you need the IP Masquerena in this deck. And then on to the 3s, the obvious best card in this deck that kind of makes it go together, Princess. You know what Princess does. It's the card you need. I play Nightmare Unicorn. You could probably cut this out for like a, what is that card? SP Little Knight, but I don't have an SP. I'm not spending. This is more of a budget option. So yeah, this is the next best option, I would say, after that. The Decode Heat So Talker, again, we play the Exceed package with also like the Almirage and IP Masquerena, so there's definitely ways to get into this card fairly easily to get those extra draws. And even you can do something where like you have like the Heat Soul there, like, and then you have like a early attached to it, right? And then you just wait for the right timing. You can activate this, you get the negate here, and then you would probably have like an IP on there too, and then you could literally just use these guys to link off or whatever it may be. So I do like that option there too. So for the fours, we do have the Amble Whale for the princess to go into. We have Access Code to push for game, and Appaloosa because obviously this is like one of the best extra deck cards. Possibly right now for monster negates. We do have one more link 3 that I forgot to talk about, and this is kind of a flex spot, and this is the new Sky Striker Ace Azalea Temperance. So basically, must be first link summoned. If this card is special summoned, you can banish one spell from your hand or graveyard, then target one monster your opponent controls with 2,500 or less attack. Equip that monster to this card as an equipped spell. You can only use it once per turn when this card is destroyed by battle. Special summon a Sky Striker monster out. That doesn't matter because we're not playing these Sky Striker monsters, but it needs 2+ monsters, including a Link monster. So basically, what you can do is you can use your IP Masquerena to go into this with another monster on your opponent's turn, and then you can banish one spell from your graveyard, which you're probably going to be banishing one of these 3, either the One for One or Triple Tactics talents. And then you're going to take one of your opponent's monsters and attach it to this card. But why it's so good is because now you're getting spells out of your graveyard, which is going to turn back on your Superheavy Samurai cards for your following turn. So that's why I really like this card. It's a brand new card from Terminal Revenge, and I think it will work well in here. It's also a machine, so like if you end up going into this gets off the field and you need it, you can go ahead and use it. And you draw like a Regulus. You can then use Regulus to attach the Azalea, and now you have an Omni Negate on field to start your turn out. We play 1, 5, an Underworld Goddess. It's just another way for IP to go into this and get a monster off of the field that's unaffected or whatever it may be. So I just feel like that's another good option. I mean, as well as it has, you know, the negate a monster reborn basically effect too. So I love that card. Just as many ways for IP Masquerade to go into different cards is what we're trying to do with this deck. And then obviously we have the Z's cards, XYZs. We have the 1 Infernal Flame Banshee. A card you could put in here too is like a Baguska. I've tried it out. I didn't end up going into it enough for it to matter. So, but this is like an obvious card that you have to play because you can detach one material from it, take one Pyro monster from your deck, and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. So obviously you're trying to add an Ash or add a Poplar or something like that, depending on what plays you've went through before that. So that is a huge card in this deck, and another part of what makes this specific deck go round. And then the last card that we have in the extra deck is the Starslayer Typhon Sky Crisis. Basically just a nice generic card. Your opponent just needs to special summon 2 or more monsters from the extra deck, and then it's a nice form of removal, especially if you get stopped in your play and you don't know where else to go. So that is it for the main and extra. We're going to go ahead and talk about a little bit of side deck, just a little bit here. First, we're going to talk about some cards I think that are important to this deck, because you can't play a whole lot of spell and traps, so you need removal. So I think Archfiend Eccentric basically contribute. You can put this card into the Pendulum Zones, and then you can target one other spell and trap card on the field and destroy both this and it. So you would target one of your opponent's spell trap cards. It could be like a Floodgate or something, or a set card, and then destroy it and destroy this card, basically. So nice form of removal for spells and traps. And then obviously Pankratops is an amazing form of removal, but it's just like monsters that aren't going to hinder you from using your Superheavy Samurai engine. And then 2 more cards that I want to talk about are Foolish Burial and the Blazing Waters. So basically what you would do with this card, it's a level 8 Pyro. that you can send off of the Electro Blaster, right? So you would side out the Magmacho Dragon, right, for the Blazing Mars, and basically when this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can banish 3 monsters from your graveyard, so they can be anything, they don't need to be fire, and then special summon this card, and then you can, during your main phase 1, you can send all of the cards you control to the graveyard and inflict 500 damage to your opponent. And so basically this is like a time card that you're going to summon during time for the Macho Dragon. Foolish Burial is another way to get it into the graveyard on top of the Electro Blasters by special summoning them out, as well as another card that can get that out is the Infernal Flame Banshee, because you can either add 1 Pyro monster to your hand or send it to the graveyard. So there's multiple ways to get to this card 4 times, so I do think it's an important card. Just something else I want to talk about here is the Terratop engine. Terratop and then Takatomborg. Basically, you would probably need to take something out. Before the Electro Blasters came in, I was playing this engine in it. So you would take out the 3 Electro Blasters and then take out the 1 level 8 Pyro and put these cards in, and then you would play it with the Bamboozling Gossip Shadow. And basically, you know, you just use this card as a starter, you'd special summon out, you grab the Takatomborg, you special summon out, you overlay these 2 into this, and then now you have a basically change monster effect. Yeah, so that's an option, and then it goes well again with Regulus. You could play a 3rd copy of Regulus if you did that as well. So those cards all kind of work well together. So that will be it for the deck profile. If you guys would like to see a combo video, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know below in the comment section, and I will see you guys on the next one.